Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, Fiat-Chrysler's in the news. Folks over at Autoline.tv reported on the past couple of days that apparently Fiat-Chrysler may be in a tad bit of trouble after their August 1st, 2014 merger vote by the shareholders, which did pass, by the way. Apparently a lot of the folks that were against the merger all along are dumping their Fiat-Chrysler stock, as Fiat-Chrysler stock has taken a huge nosedive over the past several days. Now, this may just be a bump in the road as far as the merger is concerned, but we'll keep an eye on this to see if anything comes out of this in the future. Next up on the list, the brand new Bugatti Veyron is well in the works, and there's a lot of rumblings about what's coming down the pike for the new Veyron. Now, we're already hearing that the power plant will remain to be the same, that same quad turbocharged 8-liter W16, but it now will make somewhere around 1,479 brake horsepower, and that's supposedly going to rocket this thing all the way up to the north side of 280 miles an hour. In fact, we're hearing 286 is what the Bugatti boffins are already talking about. And actually, this car is so much further along in development than a lot of people even thought of, that the vehicle may debut in 2016, which is only a couple of years away. So we'll keep you in tune to what else comes of this in the future. Next up on the list, Aston took off the wraps of the brand new Aston Martin Vanquish. And yeah, I know, it looks a lot like the last generation Aston Martin Vanquish, or the 2014, but the new 2015 has got a lot more slightly tweaked skin, but way tweaked underneath. Aston did a lot of work with the actual exhaust system of the automobile, which still gets the same 6-liter, normally aspirated V12, that now puts out, and it gains a couple of horsepower, which is huge. It'll gain up 568 brake horsepower and 465 pounds-feet of torque. Now, the real trick of this deal is out goes that 6-speed automatic transmission, and in goes a brand new ZF 8-speed transaxle. Now, if you don't know what a transaxle is, it's basically if you merge the rear axle and the transmission into one, and the transmission actually lives out back instead of right behind the power plant. Now, this is done in a lot of automobiles, but it's the first time that ZF has ever built a gearbox such as this. And the numbers that this thing creates are hugely impressive, including the 0 to 60 numbers, which plummeted, went down from 4.1 seconds, which was the sprint to 60, down to 3.6 seconds. Huge increase. In fact, the fastest to 60 ever for any Aston Martin production automobile. Not to mention that higher final drive gear in this particular machine could mean upwards of 30 miles per gallon, which is a huge improvement over what the 2014 generation went. Not to mention this car may be the first production Aston Martin to be able to go north of 200 miles an hour. Cannot wait to hear about final pricing and availability coming out on this particular machine, hopefully coming very soon. Next up on the list, well, we're all waited with bated breath over the brand new Honda NSX. Well, apparently Honda's got a lot more up their sleeve than has first been thought about. Apparently Honda's going to be working on a nice little sub-genre of mid-engine automobiles. In fact, hearing maybe a trio of automobiles, the NSX being one of them, and one of them being a blast from the past as well. The S2000. Apparently, instead of this being a 2-seater roadster like it was in the past, it will now be a mid-engine sports car. Now, the power plant is supposedly going to be the 2-liter turbocharged unit out of the Civic R. That particular power plant making 280 brake horsepower. But this also helped out with a hybrid system, and they say the performance numbers are going to be hugely impressive. Now, no real word on whether this is real or not, or if this is just more rumblings over the old interwebs, but we'll wait and see if this is pretty exciting news. Even though, given the name the S2000 is kind of odd to me, being the S2000 was so much of a different automobile. But again, I'm pretty much okay with it. I like that mid-engine layout. It's going to be pretty doggone cool to check out. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. You can like us over there. We'd appreciate that. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.